next about the gorgeous Dusty Miller live plant. And we mentioned at the beginning of the show, we're excited about this. I know you were really pumped. Because this one, again, with that silver foliage, has a really unique look. And we'll talk about the best ways to use it. $37. This actually comes as 3 actively growing plants in pots. So you'll get 3 of these little bad boys that you can plant, and they create this really fun, beautiful silver foliage, almost cabbage-like foliage.
I am so excited. We are actually fighting over these at Cottage Farms. Who is going to get to take these samples home, because we're so excited about them. You know, Cottage Farms is called the grower's grower. So we grow for landscapers. We grow for the professionals. And when we see something like this Dusty Miller, we grab it, because most Dusty Miller is an annual, which means you plant it. Listen, I love our annuals. There are places for them, but means you plant it in one season and then you have to replant it the next year. This one is hardy down to 0. So most places only get 0 now. Pennsylvania, you know, it is zone 6 to 9. And so if you live in those areas, you get to have it come back year after year after year and only get bigger and better with this gorgeous color, this kind of like silver in the garden. It's more like that desert Southwest can only have this, but no, now more of us can have this as a perennial.
It has a satiny, like
velvet,
almost like the easy wear twill that we talked about last hour in Denim & Company. Hardy, really beautifully soft green and silver foliage. And it doesn't flower, so this is the perfect like low shrub. If you want to use this in your garden beds as your border plant, you can. Or we had it at the bottom of the hydrangea, so in the lower part of your container.
Absolutely, you can still do it in mixed containers. When we do container design, we talk about spillers, fillers, and thrillers. You really want to have those 3 elements, and in this case, we are talking about the filler. But look how it brightens your eye. I mean, in this one container, we've got gorgeous pinks and yellows, but I really am drawn to that Dusty Miller. So I don't know if you go to Longwood Gardens often. It's a famous botanical garden here in Chester County, and they have their desert garden room. And it is the most peaceful room because it has all of these Southwest plants. You walk through, there's cacti and succulents, and Dusty Miller is everywhere. It's my favorite room in the whole place because it's calming. It's one of those, just you go in, and you just feel like you are instantly relaxed.
Is this then considered a succulent? Or is it like
so
more
it's
of a
one of those
desert,
real hardy,
one
of those in between. So it's one of those plants that is going to be more drought tolerant. So it does not, like, remember we talked about with the lavender. Don't overwater it. So it can tolerate dry climates. It can tolerate the heat. And now, like never before, you can have it as a perennial and come back year after year.
That you get 3 of them, and they start out pretty good size too, which is important to remember. If we are going to use these for a border, how far do we want to space them apart?
So I would go about 18 inches. If you want them like right up, you know, go a little bit more, a little bit less, like 15 inches. So you create that hedge. But if you kind of want to intersperse them with other plants, like we have our hummingbird mint coming up. That also doesn't really like a lot of water, and it has that really pretty foliage. So you're getting 3 of those. You can pop those in, and you can space them a little further apart. But it makes such a beautiful ground cover because it has kind of a mounded foliage, but it's not super low. It grows about 10 inches tall. So, and it is so dense. I mean, look at it. It's like you cannot see the bottom. And so would you rather grow this gorgeous silvery foliage or weeds, Jane?
Right. and in terms of that, we don't have to do a lot of trimming or pruning with this either?
None at all.
Nothing. Just leave it, let it go. All right, so we have fewer than 1,500 of those available. They are brand new today, M94642. That's the Dusty Miller live plant.